chat always have had each other's backs.
Well, we got a lot of matches to get through. A lot of exciting European Rocket League coming your way. Shogun and Spaceman, they got our upper bracket round 1 first match. Let's get excited.
Shogun.
I'm very curious how this one is going to go because PSG Tundra, last time we saw them, we realized, oh, wow, you guys can play incredible Rocket League. They only played it, though, when they were 2 goals down last time against BDS. Surely they play this weekend on the front foot rather than playing scared.
And I think that is a testament to what Tundra bring to the table, right? They are capable of meeting the mark against a team like BDS, even if they were playing in a similar styled offense you'd see like in the Oxygens. Yeah, PSG Tundra can step up and kind of meet the challenge there, but it really comes down to the interconnected nuance this team has, where they've struggled with infield passing and they've struggled with spacing. Maybe the top 2 things that if they start to clamp down on, they're looking at a more consistent roster across the board, but still are no pushovers. They had a pretty good run through GWB. They've had a decent run as of late. But it doesn't mean the
you
defense
really
is
got caught out on the timing there. No pushovers. Here's a backboard for free. Bye-bye. Well, Tox is going to miss those. Top bins for him. And that is how you want to start off your regional. Now, one thing to note as well for a lot of you at home is that as we are heading towards the latter parts of the season, it means that some teams might even be playing their final tournaments of the season as well. I mean, Hogan Mode are an example who are not playing this weekend that need results to go their way. Otherwise, they are already finished.
Yep.
Because the final regional that we have this season is invitation only. Top 16 teams of the season so far. If you've not done anything up to this point, you will not be coming back.
And look, a lot of the top teams are fighting for seeding here, but Hibbs is fighting for all of the backboard available as Ivan will get the dangerous clear and continue on forward to move that ball into the orange zone. But when we do look at a lot of teams not only fighting for seeding, but like you talked about, Hogan Mode, hoping and praying that the gods are in their favor and things align, you have to come out and win your opening matches on Fridays. We've talked about it ad nauseum in NA. You can't afford, if you're a team looking for points and or just placements into spring, you cannot afford to come out and drop a series like this, as that is almost a dangerous second goal.
Do look around. The Sharks that'll be loitering in that lower bracket, trying to avoid it all you can. Fox, good block from him. Brings in his teammate for a power clear. This is, theoretically, where PSG Tundra should do their best work. And they've got that lead, they don't have to chase. I just want to see that pace kept up today, especially from this player right here. Catalysm just delays it for his teammate. Mike Boy off the backboard, have they been caught out? Backboard again for Hibbs, and just one step too much on that play, and it does mean PSG Tundra can get back.
Attempt there from Tho, and if you're thinking about what the comms might look like, if you are a fan of PSG Tundra, it's probably going to be Tox making a lot of those adjustments, especially on the defensive end. He might be sending the numbers out as Ivan was the one who got the call for the clear. Catalysm trying to work it around. Tox leaves it. Great pass. Here comes Ivan for the second, and that's a very fundamental push-up field you're going to see out of PSG Tundra quite often. Nice setup by Catalysm, and a beautiful finish by Tox.
Oh, that's... I feel a little bit of a wild swing that we saw by the second man. The first challenge goes in, you've got the play moving. You need to make sure that you're going to win that afterwards. The fact that there was no contact at all from a position like the corner where you can't really work with that many angles. You will not be too happy to have let that one go. Gibbs now off the corner. Said how PSG Tundra did play quite well from 2 goals down. Well, I feel like most teams seem to play quite well when they're 2 goals up. As Tox just loitering in the backfield, trying to find some demos. It's a good clear, but also quite easy for Catalysm just to control the ball, dare somebody to come and challenge him. And then there's the power clear again. PSG Tundra doing a great job of killing this game off.
And Tundra just has so much space on the defensive end as well. Once they catch that redirect, there's really no follow-up pressure you're seeing from SUHHH. At least whether or not it was allocating some numbers just individually on a one-on-one. You were thinking Mike Boy might make the challenge, but here we go through the corner. Gets around 1, but hesitation for the moment in the offensive third. Hibbs trying to follow up. Slow touch, not a great one. Awkward.
Oh, maybe they can make it.
Follow-up, huge. Clear out by Ivan. And back to the infield. All right, we're keeping it going. Bar down. Mike Boy tries, and he can't find it. Okay. The offense finally kicks in, but it's taken a little bit too long to develop.
That had to be a goal. You had so many great positions there. You, even off the soft shot, managed to create a bit of chaos. And still nothing goes through for you. There's the double commit as well, but Catalysm is just living on the backboard. He's paid rent. He's got water set up. He is ready to go. Pass down yet again, infield off the backboard. Catalysm, guess where he is? Wow, big shock off backboard to Ivan. Goal goes in. PSG Tundra, comfortable as you like.
Just a beautiful touch off the backboard as well. Catalysm sends it on its way. Ivan's overextending downfield, and of course, everybody's running the Fennec this weekend. It's perfect down the stretch. 3-0 lead with a minute 3.
I think if there was time for a team talk here, Operation Don't Go Backboard might be the one to go into effect.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Catalysm is, he's comfortable in that spot. You do look at the player names that we are seeing over on SUHHH, as they do go flying past it. Ivan one-on-one against Mike Boy, wins the challenge, goes low. There's just always somebody else there for PSG Tundra, but it's just... One team is supremely comfortable off the backboard. The other team keeps having a whoopsie.
Yeah, and it's a lot of just reactive Rocket League from SUHHH. You're getting challenged by Tox from the side wall. Whether or not he gets the cleanest of touches doesn't matter. Just contesting the play and keeping the lane out transitionally congested. Looks for a second, and then this is what Tox does so well. He sets up his teammates, and you have Catalysm and Ivan working up midfield that can find those awkward touches or win some of these rebounds and make it so much more difficult to clear out defensively if you are SUHHH. Now we'll try to see them try to form their counterattack, but before that happens, you already got to worry about Catalysm flying into your face.
I do love the fake challenges as well. Foe forced to at least take a heavier touch twice on their air dribble. One thing that has kind of just sucked on the side of SUHHH is the fact that they have not been able to draw in one of those midfield challenges. You were talking earlier on about how they're getting the power play, but nobody follows it. And the reason is because PSG Tundra don't care. They just... Yep. You've got the ball, cool. We're on our way back. So every single time we see SUHHH control the ball, wait to see if anyone's going to come towards them, doesn't happen. And whenever you get those positions, that's when you get to leave somebody downfield. But because it's just power clear, control ball, then, I don't know. It's PSG Tundra refusing to play ball.
Speaking of that very notion, quick update. Devil's Fruit are up 1-0 on Carmine.
Of course they are. See, no, this was the interesting part about us bringing in double elimination, is that KC, in every other format we've had, have had that one result. When we had groups, when we had Swiss, they would always have one loss against a team that they wouldn't have that against.
Sure, it's fine.
Now we have a format where that would get really punished.
Tundra win, but does it really matter? Yes, it does. It's a game 1 win for Tundra.
Really? To them it does.
Yeah, it absolutely. Look, of all the series this weekend, folks, on Fridays, this is the one you want to keep an eye on. So far, so good. 5-0, pretty big stomping. And I think the takeaway is clear. You heard Shogun say it, right? The midfield presence, but not only just the lack of challenges from SUHHH, the ability for Tundra just to basically play passive, wait for their ability to get the ball, wait for possession, move upfield, and just let Tox roam. He did that. Boom, you're done.
So the reason why I actually really like that you brought up Devil Fruit going up 1-0 is because that, if that result goes through, that is best case scenario for PSG Tundra, because every day, it doesn't matter how good Devil Fruit are playing, you would rather play them in the next round than you would rather play KC.
That is true.
So right now, after the first round of matches, fantastic for them. Do you want to know what makes it even better? Guild won their first game against G1.
Of course they did.
BDS did win over there on that side, so BDS continue to at least be the steadfast presence that they set themselves out as.
Sure.
But yeah, that's 2 results, well, 3 results even, that PSG Tundra will love.
If you thought NA was going to be a little bit dicey, listen, this one's... Europe is always fun. Chat. Hope you're strapped in. Wake up.
I feel like when NA does it, though, it's like a, oh, wow. When Europe does it, it's a, of course. Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And NA is a little bit more like, you expect the sadness. You're like, oh, wow, okay. Yeah. Europe's just chaotic, and it's great.
Let's have a look. What do SUHHH have on the table? Good result here. Still puts them well within competition for the major spot. As rough as that is looking, because the upper parts of Europe look really hard to try and break into right now. So, got to do it during this weekend. Tox takes the ball in control. That's awkward for Foe, but does well with it. And now here's what we want to see. What can SUHHH do on those transitions? Because last match, nothing troubled PSG Tundra.
Yeah, those challenges again at the midfield have kept Tho out of the play. You did a nice job of tracking to the corner to stall out as the third man, but he's been the only one up to make these challenges in these contests for the moment for SUHHH. So it's basically a 3v2, and you just keep throwing shots at the net, and that's what happens. The constant midfield contest, you're taking one player out, and if you're PSG Tundra, you're more than happy to play this advantage.
I mean, they were all, if you're going to keep trading players like that, PSG Tundra were always at the advantage there. They were always going to have the third player in. And that was maybe the biggest encapsulation of the worries that we've had for SUHHH in this series. Now they've got to try and drag themselves back in from a 1-goal deficit. Hibbs pops the ball up. That's a nice position, but you're against Calism, who is winning every single time. Holding midfielder if there ever was one. It's a bit wasteful. Ivan was ready and waiting. I don't think to this point I've seen SUHHH happy to take the midfield challenge. It feels like they're playing for the outplay every single time, and they are not outplaying.
Yeah, and well, Tundra are just recognizing that. Like, if you want to play boom ball, we can play boom ball for 2 minutes and however long you want to keep it going. One with the lead, but two, look, Calism, he's upfield now. He's going to get the corner grab. Resources out. He's probably going to win the sidewall as well. He will. Gives it to Hibbs, but nobody else follows up. Ivan on the rebound, and the challenge in. Tox cuts the lane. Mike Boy leaves off to Ivan. All right, so we're splitting the numbers here. And Tho, yet again, will have to fall back and make that save. So you get one push up field at a time if you're SUHHH, but it doesn't really form into any extra dimensions. There's no infield pass. There's no screaming through the corners and trying to collapse on the sidewall to create space. It's very much one hit after another, and we fall back to
I like
defense.
that.
Finally something goes their way.
They finally put the ball in a position where it created doubt. Put it as high as you can, and you see Hibbs launch himself. I'm going to hit something on my way through. I love that so much more. Take that sort of position. Go for the air dribble. You've been given time on the ball for those sort of plays, and they have not been utilized. But anything to cause that moment, that split second of worry, where you're not as in control of the play. And that is the first goal that SUHHH have scored in this series. Calism tried for the ceiling pinch. Doesn't quite manage it. Tho downfield, though. We've not seen this up to this point, and look at the chaos it caused momentarily. They've still got good position. Ivan avoids being bumped. Hibbs off the reset. Who's got the follow? SUHHH have woken up.
You needed to get Tho out of your own side of the field. You needed to escape the defensive hold. He's downfield overextending. The rest of the team was still fighting for boost at the midfield. And finally, a couple of follow-up shots. Nice rebound there, set up off the backboard. And Tho's able to contribute on the offensive end. Just play the numbers game in the net, and you're probably going to have a good time. 2-1 lead for SUHHH. A nice response here in game 2. Can they keep it going?
No one ever said it was going to be easy for you, PSG Tundra. I think they knew that coming in. Oh, a whiff as well from Tox. Things that were uncharacteristic in the first game, suddenly coming to start showing up now for PSG Tundra. They'll have time to play the ball, though. This has been so much better. As Mike Boy does find himself all alone, he'll happily try and play for the half volley. Didn't catch those volleys would like to. Calism slow played it yet again. Nothing on for now. Power clear, and Hibbs pre-jumped that yesterday.
And they're keeping the ball off the backboard as well. They're not allowing the push-up from PSG Tundra to get a little bit more nuance than you would like we saw in game 1. Currently, controlling the midfield much better in this game if you're SUHHH. Mike Boy making the challenge. He's been the point of contact for the offense. Tho's going to rotate to the midfield, and Hibbs will be the second man on this play. Offense gets their chance, and this is the pressure you'd like to see if you're a SUHHH fan. Finally, they look a little bit more comfortable at that midfield line.
Oh, they've lost a player. Ivan, backboard, pre-jump from Hibbs. He won't get there, and Tox will slot it in. Keep an eye on the replay. Calism gets one, bumps the other. All the work done.
Beautiful setup, too. And Tox getting back into the swing of things as well. Through the corner, gets back out on rotation and cuts back into the lane to keep this play going. I'm sure those comms were just as hot. And it's a great recovery and nice response from PSG Tundra.
This one does feel huge for SUHHH when it comes to their tournament. PSG Tundra proving that they do have a few layers to their gameplay. SUHHH, now that they've had one go against them and the run of form is now moving away from their favor, can they keep that pressure up? Looking for a potential blind spot on the backboard. That really has not existed for the most part. Mike Boy goes low, and that's caused the double commit. Don't play for the quick win. Play for the split second where you can get PSG Tundra to go, oh, what do we do with that?
Yeah, that was just a slight double commit, a very small double commit. I mean, Catalysm pre-jumped that.
Really? Nobody saw it whatsoever.
Catalysm totally didn't pre-jump that read and just fly straight on by like the challenger. It totally didn't happen. But here we go, 1v1 right over Ivan, tie game.
JohnnyBoy.exe mode engaged. Oh, that's just rough. You know what? I'm not even going to be too harsh on the kickoff there. That, when it comes to bounces off the kickoff, is about as rough as it can get. Over the top of your challenger, right on top of your cheating car. It's coming up, and yeah, the player's gone for the boost. Good luck with that one.
So much work done for Sa. Hold on, off the kickoff.
Oh, no.
No, please no. No goal. Let Tox try to finish it, and he will. 13 seconds, a kickoff win. And right back up the gut, it's PSG Tundra with the lead.
So I hope somebody got the screenshot of that triple commit. If not, I'm sure the replay will be available soon enough to get a nice angle on it.
I see your
View it, enjoy it, and please do not send it to your local PSG Tundra fan. They will not be happy with what they just saw. And no, you after all of the improvements we saw from Star here,
yeah,
you can't lose it like that. You can't lose it like that. Oh, they're gonna have a chance. Oh, the backflip!
So?
Oh, no! Well, feels backflip man for Tox. And Foe will finish it off. This is a scrappy game too.
I mean, we've seen a double commit, we saw a triple commit, and now we're seeing essentially just free food downfield.
I want to give Foe like the benefit of the doubt and just say he was too far forward, but that's also not really the benefit of the doubt because you were too far forward. That just can't happen. Like not when you're winning with 0 seconds left.
I don't really have words this early for what this game has been. We'll see if another kickoff pays dividends here if you're PSG Tundra. For Sa, good counterattack, but a better swing. Ivan trying to close in on the play and collapse quickly through the net. Number still up. They press, and you'll have to fly back and restable as your bearings are collected. 35 seconds killed in OT. Catalysm gets pulled off the ball, and Mike Boy has to play to the corner.
This is one of those games where whoever loses this match is going to be livid. For PSG Tundra, if they lose it, they've got plenty of time to react and respond. If Sa lose it, that's triple match point. One of these things is certainly worse than the other. As we go to the corner, fair work done so far by Sa. Minute down in this one. Can they get the play set up off the backboard, followed by Tox, and it is gone.
That's an important clear as well, just to kind of kill some of this clock, but also a lot of the momentum that Sa were able to build up on the sidewall. Give your defense a chance if you're PSG Tundra to breathe here. Collect your bearings if you can off the backboard. Ivan tried to get to the midfield, but now the press starts, and this is where Sa have made adjustments in game 2. They've been more comfortable at finding those midfield contests and clearing these touches to their teammates.
Yeah, air dribble there from Hibbs. And then Foe quite close enough on the challenge and the sneak up. Bump on Foe isn't going to get there, so now a good chance here for PSG Tundra. What a play by Catalysm. Foe had to be well positioned on the backboard, or that was going to cause havoc. Good outright pace there from Foe. It's the reason why you bring him onto your team. Somebody that you can just go chase the ball, win it for us, give us a chance.
Yeah, and he's forcing a lot of double commits from PSG Tundra. Whether or not they're tracking or getting a hand on the ball doesn't really matter. It's just pulling numbers off the play, making it more viable for a goal line push. If you're Hibbs, just try to again play to the backboard. He does so, gets one to bite. It's Catalysm. Talks the opposite side. Ivan on your screen currently fighting for that midfield line. And White Boy will just have to get a hand up and does so. So the midfield's basically gone for PSG Tundra. They're going to have to work on an overextension to Ivan. They find it. Is it a misflip? Yes, but it doesn't bite them in the back. Still alive here if you are Sa for another swing downfield.
Tox would be so happy to have seen that one go wide. He had snuck up just a little bit too far. That was top corner. That would have been all the way past him. Mike Boy can't win that race. Again, there's some players sneaking up here. And there's not enough confidence on getting that midfield hit where these are getting quite cleanly hit. Goes on target. That could be the end of the game. Awkward for now. Foe. Cool under pressure. Gotta start keeping an eye on those boost totals. Hibbs is close to low. Mike Boy was getting close to low. They've got to get rid of this. And they've done well with the overall boost management.
This is the most offense we've seen out of PSG Tundra sustained, I think, this game so far. Granted, it's been about 8 minutes, but oh, great touch. Leaves the fall up to Catalysm. Maybe he wanted to get physical in the net, but instead he'll fly back and continue this cyclical extension that you've seen so far for the past minute and a half. Ivan, great shot, opposite post, but just couldn't find the angle.
This is one of those really typical Rocket League overtimes, isn't it? 4-4, can't find a goal for the next 4 minutes. That's how it tends to be. Foe, oh, first touch left a little bit to be desired, but you could still get the 1-for-1 challenge. Off the backboard, Hibbs, can he find a teammate? Foe will come in off the wrong side. Bump as well, that's a good chance for a breakaway now. Nobody was ready, nobody had the boost to get back over there. It's one of those games right now. Oh, Tox is there for the passing option and doesn't win it outright.
Huge. Avoided a demo, got back in rotation, left it to Tho. 1v1 right over and gets both to bite. 4:20 on the clock, but it doesn't even matter. That is just brilliance on the 1v1, the juggle, the reset, and a 1v2 to close it out.
That might be the most perfect first touch you could have got on that ball. You can get over there, you can get the reset, but to have a touch right there that leaves the options open and keeps the defense guessing is massive. And Foe was exactly that in this game. He was massive. So SUHHH do get that game back. We managed to play through pretty much 2-3 games in order to do it. And now this series is wide open. So it went from best case scenario Leaf for PSG Tundra to, well, just as dicey as it was always going to be.
Yeah, I mean, again, admin's doing a good job of picking games as per usual to show on the mainstream here. So we got a couple sweeps already completed elsewhere.
That's about right.
Moist Esports taking down Fufax Stop 3-0. Team BDS taking down Luna Galaxy, former Monkeys, 3-0. One interesting match that is going on right now, Team Vitality actually lost a game to 2.5 Men, which of course is Speed's team, so you'll love to see it. We have a couple other match point situations where you expect them, but I do want to mention Team Liquid is actually being put to the test by it's Fast Forward. I kept saying four-wheel drive. Fast Forward, that's what it is.
I'm seeing one result right there, Leaf. That is petrifying to me.
And this is?
Gilda 2-0 against G1.
Oh, yeah.
Why is that petrifying?
Because G1
is supposed to be one of these big teams that we're saying can qualify for the World Championship.
Yeah. But it's Guild, right?
Yeah, it is Guild, the team that always does this. Also, very typical Rocket League if we're going to go through this. Nice of us to have a 5-minute overtime followed by a 7-second goal.
You didn't like the misread or the doubles and triple commits we saw last game?
I was looking at the bracket. I'm not going to lie. I didn't see how one went in. I'll throw my hands up there, and I'm trying to catch up a little bit.
It's the Guild effect, guys. We should expect this. Like the universal constant. They all do something, but so will Hibbs. Off the kickoff again. All right, we're tied up.
Having a kickoff extravaganza on this one. Again, another great first touch. PSG Tundra have been caught a fair few times now on getting quite trigger happy with what they're doing with the third man. They like to just push them up a little bit too far. And when that first touch is just right for SUHHH, they are getting caught.
Nice reset from Tho. Another kickoff win there if you're SUHHH. It's a good trend to continue. Huge clear from the sidewall, but actually gives possession right back to PSG Tundra, and Talk to the corner will leave off on the boost to try to eventually fight his way down to the ground from the ceiling. Dangerous touches here. SUHHH trying to find the clear.
Hibbs saw the greatest play possible in his mind right there. And maybe didn't see the possible, oh no, I'm dropping this down on the penalty spot.
Main character teammate kicked in.
His teammates had his back, you know, they were all ready for it. They're like, oh, good old Hibbs right there. He's going to do that thing that he always does. SUHHH have controlled the midfield since then. Something that just felt like it was going to be impossible after that first game, and now we are deep in the trenches in game number 3.
This is just credit to SUHH's adjustments at the midfield. They have gotten much more comfortable at taking the one-on-one challenges that we didn't see in game 1. But small swings here and there, small decisions that have worked out in their favor. Big save from Tho. And they look much more comfortable with following up on these touches and winning the second battle. As Might Boy, dangerous shot, but a better save. The boys in blue will find the clear.
Yeah, both teams have been giving up on that midfield a little bit easily. I think it's because both teams have now started to go towards such an outplay style that you want players back. And again, Catalysm passes off to Ivan. Ivan to Catalysm, and yet again, couldn't find the bump. They're not far off, though. At home, try and keep an eye on the passing player or a player that's in Ivan's position right now. If he had landed that one further across the field, you know he's just going to go hunting for whoever is in the goal. And you can do that nowadays because everyone's defense is so good that you can do that, get back, and no real harm comes to your team. Hibbs is going for the mega plays right now. Just trying to pass it to that guy, falling from the ceiling.
Save, follow up, throws to Lynette, get it out. All right, back to your point, Shogun. Well done. Yep, nice plays from Hibbs.
Togs back down. Foe to the backboard. We've seen some mistakes there previously, but slow enough for Ivan to at least control. G1 struggling in their series. If SUHHH can take this one as well, BDS fans around the world will rejoice. They've already done the job in their series. They get to sit back, relax, and watch what's happening. Well, as much as you can do, considering they might have Vitality in the next round. Although Quintaleaf, that one's been more difficult than I'm sure many expected. Oh, that's just in!
How does this one sneak through? I'm trying to see the replay. Here we go. Shout out game. All right. Hibbs, I think, went up for a 50 and just missed it. And it basically jets through the corner very quickly, back on its way towards the goal. All right. That's a nice read there from Catalysm, but a bit of a small blunder on the double commit there from SUHHH. I get you want to throw numbers at it, but you also have to make sure that your backline's covered. With how the offenses have been for both teams, very close to the goal line, not a lot of demos. We've only seen maybe one or two, and one came in this game, so the physicality has not matched a lot of the pressure you're seeing. It's going to be dangerous to commit constantly like that, but all right. 2-1 lead currently. PSG Tundra trying to hold on with a minute 20.
Tox half volley clear. Oh, that is as good as those ones come. Yep, that's pressure gone for you. Now you can start to work with the rest of your team. The great thing about those is that they just spend so long in the air that your team has nowhere really to move. Just re-get the boost, reposition, and it's up to the opponents to collect the ball. You run the risk of maybe hitting the ceiling, but Tox is too good for that. Tox disrespects the ceiling. Off the wall, Mike Boy. Nice first touch. Who dares challenge him? They're just waiting. They're just waiting. Now invites the pressure on. Hibbs, good chance from him, but nobody on the far side except Ivan, and that's not the player he wanted to find.
Might have worked out actually for Ivan, because I think he was cheating up a little bit too closely to his teammate. But when the play broke down, he was already somewhat in position just to rotate and track for the follow-up contest. So you make something out of nothing. That is a positive here. As Cell will try to do another miracle downfield with under 30 to play as Hibbs will call his own number, runs out of boost, low in the tank at the moment. Resources not quite here. If you are SUHHH, we'll see what they can make out of nothing as they have time to play.
Him off the backboard. Ivan's just going to play for time here, try to go high, but he was read pretty quickly. So, get the ball to the floor. Catalysm tasked with it, and, well, he's pretty good at drop shots, so gets it down. And that is a much-needed victory for PSG Tundra.
And I think this is credit to not only the clear game that we saw briefly in a small highlight from PSG Tundra, but again, capitalizing on the pressure upfield, working themselves through the corners, forcing the double commits from SUHHH. The small idiosyncrasies that existed for SUHHH in this series have continued. We're starting to see it finally be utilized for PSG Tundra, taking their opportunities when they have them and putting the pressure on Leaf.
Yeah, is he actually good at drop shot?
I mean, according to that, you can hit the ball straight down, so I consider that half the job done.
Yes, the answer is yes.
That's the job. I just really like drop shots, so I get excited about it. Oxygen taking down Monaco 3-0. There's another match completed over there. Carmine Corp is doing their best to finish theirs off. It's 2-1 right now, 44 seconds left, and they're only up by 1 goal. It's 2-1. I may have spoken too soon. It's now 3-1. But yeah, definitely not a strong domination that you'd expect from them. Again, Liquid doing their best to shut down Fast Forward right now, which I'd like to mention, by all technicality, with Seamus is the first Lithuanian player in the RLCS. He's dual citizen Irish, and I think he's just using the Lithuanian flag because he said, quote unquote, it looks cooler. But by technicality, that's the first Lithuanian player, so that's pretty high.
Listen, if you have the opportunity to be a history maker, you take it, all right? It doesn't matter what it is. You go for that one. Well, let's take a look then. What can Sir do in this one? From the 2 goals they conceded in the last game, again, they will not be too happy. It does feel like we're getting a lot of goals from the oh no situations compared to an outright outplay. And 1 kickoff goal, which, yep, as I remember saying at the time, was just a horrible position to find yourself in as the 3rd man back. But that double commit in the corner is not how you should be losing a game.
No, and with how much they've had to work, and of course, maybe the biggest highlight.
Oh, it's happened again.
All right, maybe the
Get out of your own way.
Like, no, it's just not going to happen. The first win by Catalysm, the boost, the flyover by Mike Boy, see ya. The 3rd, that's a 1v3.
Well, Sir, have
back to the drawing board.
really disliked that corner. That's all I'm going to say. From game 1, they had a little bit of a ceasefire with it in game 2. And then in game 3 and 4, it's not necessarily been their friend yet again. Catalysm off the challenge. Is that going to bait Tox in? Not quite. Yes, it does feel like one of those series where you see sort of the work that Sir have got to do to score. And you say, okay, you've got to do like maybe a 6 or a 7 out of 10 play at minimum to get it past this team. And then for PSG Tundra to score, they can get away with 3. You know, they can just see what happens. Maybe the walls just collapse at some point. Mm-hmm. No, you can't do it at this level.
Especially with what's on the line, not only for Tundra, but for Suz's chances here too. If Tundra are getting most of their goals from mistakes to the corner on your own defense, that says a lot, but also just the biggest highlight was maybe Tho downfield on the 1v1 in game 2. That's about it. I mean, the offense has had to work overtime. There hasn't been a lot of sustained drives downfield. The most we saw was during the overtime, as Tho tried to set up for a teammate. Mike Boyd comes from the opposite side of the field to meet that one instead of Hibbs getting the call. Not sure if it was a boost question or not, but decisions here, as you are looking for your first goal and really to tie this one up. This fashion has been
they've been
sloppy, but Tox is just going to make the nails drive into the back of the coffin.
Let's have a look at the positioning overall. So Tho's drifted up. We've already noted that that's been a problem throughout this series. But I also, I don't know, I don't necessarily hate it from Tho. He's really hoping that somebody on his team gets some sort of contact. He's not necessarily thinking half volley over the top of my head. So I do definitely have a little bit of sympathy for the position he found himself in. The only reason why it becomes a problem is that it's a position they found themselves in a lot. So there is a problem somewhere for this team. And they really don't have the time to figure out how to fix it. Half the game left. And that game 2 keeps being referred to as an anomaly in this series. It has to be the norm, and it has to be from here on out.
You just need to find one another. Maybe the power of friendship is what gets you through this series, because there it is. Like, it's the first time we've really seen a pass downfield that worked in transition that wasn't immediately swatted away at the backboard, or a low clear that leads to a double commit. Nice job on the counterattack, and off the kickoff, another one can still rally it into 2.
We've seen them score back-to-back. And we've also seen PSG Tundra in game 2 have a little bit of a wobble when they get stuck in these positions. A bump as well on the goalkeeper. It's not a shootable spot, though, for Tox. Would have preferred that ball to bounce anywhere else. Mike Boy controls the ball. Catalysm's waiting for him. He says, thank you very much for that. And almost managed to land on the ball. Tho, maybe the coolest person in the lobby.
Nice touch. Good save. Already out to Ivan. He was rotating in, gets lucky with his break. That's not a great clear. Tox gonna set it up to a teammate. Catalysm leaves off, and here we go up the gut. Mike Boy gonna try to make the most out of this one, but good cut down from Catalysm. So it looked like a bit of hesitation there from PSG Tundra. They didn't want to overcommit with their numbers up. They know this lead is sacred, to say the least, with how this series has gone. Tho to Hibbs, great pass, and I like the offense we're seeing now in the corner.
I do love that as an idea, and it was a fantastic read from the defender. But this is so awkward for both teams. When you get that ball in the corner, the play slows down so much. He's looking for challenge wins. Nice boost steal again from Hibbs. And this is starting to mount up. Catalysm's the only one with really much to play with, and he's already jumped off the backboard. Incredible by Mike Boy.
And this rotation through the corner from Hibbs, just again, getting your teammates set up. You win the initial challenge from Mike Boy. It spikes it down. You hold your spot, clamp on the wall, and wait for a teammate to set you back up. Everybody getting involved. This is the offense we wanted to see from Sub. And we have ourselves a tie game with under a minute.
I've got to give so much credit for that from Hibbs earlier in the play. He just wouldn't go away. Kept getting challenges, kept stealing a boost, kept half rotating back in. And that laid the foundations for it. But can they get the job done? Tox low boost. Doesn't get the steal either. Mike Boy yet again. Pops over the top of one. And for as many issues as we have had with the way Surf played, they're a goal away from Champions Field.
You think this one might be going 5, but I've been watching the Hibbs rotation. He's just been hunting for boost. Finally gets back into the play. Though, and Mike Boy had to make a lot of these calls quickly to keep this play moving. Get the possessions back in track towards the midfield yet again. So we'll see if they can keep it alive. Game clock turned off. Into the corner. Dangerous spot to be in. Ivan trying to hold the catch, but can't throw. Though, excuse me, try to get to the backboard, but a long clear leaves it to Hibbs. Will it touch? No. Hibbs from the sidewall. Got 2 in front to worry about. Holds the reset. It doesn't touch from the corner. Ivan on the clear. And that one should...
That one. Oh, Mike Boy, you're brave.
No.
Oh, Mike Boy, you're so brave.
Still alive. Tox can catch this, and he leaves it. All right, we're definitely going to OT. Will we go to Champions Field? That's the only question.
Yeah, one was definitely braver than the other, and I'm not sure from Mike Boy how much I necessarily agreed with it, but hey, let's prove that they believe in themselves right now. Hibbs pre-jumps to try and get to Ivan. Good decision-making from him. Don't want those wheels to get rolling. Catalysm, not the best first touch. Has to take the 1-for-1. Oh, that's awkward for Hibbs. He was backwards on it, needed the support. PSG Tundra didn't want to try and commit to that slight misplay. Now Ivan, backboard double, and Mike Boy nice and calm yet again.
It's great patience. Nobody committed other than that one challenge on the goal line. No double commits, no flies out. Huge there. Mike Boy following, almost gets a 50. But I like the patience defensively from Sa. It's a good improvement.
Off the wall. A couple of demos coming on in. A nice position for PSG Tundra to find themselves in, especially off the double commit. All right, Mike Boy, you need to get contact, and you've done exactly that. I like the idea from PSG Tundra. They got the double, and then they just tested Mike Boy. And he did pass with flying colors. Now, Tox, what can you do with that one? Double commit, and that one had double the chance of going to the opposite side of the field.
That just bounced off of Tox's hood, so you get a nice little blue trail, but also a reminder that we will challenge you at the midfield. We're going to have numbers up. You're not going to escape for free. Dangerously through the corner. The extension was there for a moment, but quickly cut down. And Mike Boy's still fighting for possession here. I mean, he has tracked this all the way down between Ivan and the sidewall. It's a small collision, but it still works out in their favor. Mike Boy gets it on target. A double commit leaves way up to the top corner, and it's immediately saved up on the top bar. Not really sure where the placements are going, but it's still opportunities here for Sub.
You give that one to Mike Boy in training, in ranked, anywhere else except in the RLCS, and he puts that top corner every single time. And it was just wasted this time. Now he's struggling off the corner. Mike Boy has not necessarily had that big game-throwing moment, but he needs to settle here. These are a couple too many wobbles.
Get a demo. This should be a clear here if you're Sub. You need to prioritize getting the ball to midfield and forcing the challenge. Thaw does do it. Mike Boy through the corner, throw back in the goal line. He's going to make this read, does so. Can he do it again? We saw it in game 2. He'll dunk it around, gives it to Hibbs into the corner. Numbers fly up. Boys Blue trying to press. Hibbs juggling, but a takeaway from Tox.
Yeah, well done by Tox, because you see somebody get bumped in the corner, it's out of your mind entirely that they are going to get contact. Mike Boy's not got the best hit. And that is the series gone for them. PSG Tundra are moving on.
Oh, that is just an unfortunate bounce. That is not the touch you want. A little echo of the first killer touch there as it goes essentially into your own net. And that is a brutal way to lose this series. But again, the mistakes have been the same for the majority of the series. That at least is somewhat of a positive takeaway. You try to work on those. Maybe things turn in a different direction. PSG Tundra, however, closed it out on Coliseum, and they will keep their hopes alive for spring. That was a must-win for them.
All right, Leaf, we've pretty much had a game 5 out of that series with the overtimes as well. How are things looking?
Yeah, well, I'll give you your favorite team. Guild won 3-1 in their matchup over
Wow. Okay. Okay. That's interesting for G1. Just saying,
the
there
word.
have been opinions about their roster moves. And there will be more opinions about this roster move.
And of course, Team Vitality got their dub over 2.5 Men, Liquid over Fast Forward. And one of the interesting ones actually went to, I believe it was about almost a 7-minute overtime. Remember I told you K-Corp was up with 44 seconds left, 3-1?
Yeah.
Devil Fruit got 2 goals in that time, brought it to a 7-minute overtime.
Of course.
They did eventually end up losing, but it was pretty tight. A lot of goal line saves from Devil Fruit. So if I'm SUHHH in that lower bracket, I'm not going to lie, I'm not thinking this is an easy run at all. Like, Devil Fruit might give them a run for their money.
I mean, if SUHHH want to be even within the conversation of Major, this has to be a top 4 at this event. That's really difficult to accomplish after this.
It absolutely is, but we got a lot more Rocket League coming your way. We continue on through the upper bracket. Up next, it's going to be Team Vitality versus Team BDS. That's a match you don't want to miss. We'll see you on the other side.